Hey YouTube, tonight I'm going to be doing a reaction video regarding One Piece. So it's all about One Piece, and I am going to react to one of the works of Eneru Review PH. So this YouTube channel is all about One Piece, and then Eneru Review PH already has amassed like 670,000 YouTube subscribers. And let me see. So, Eneru Review PH. This is one of those YouTube content vloggers. Really specific when it comes to his content. All of his content are all about One Piece. And what I like about this channel is that it creates lots of stuff, like it updates us regarding the latest chapters of One Piece, and then they also have their own theories, but then they also source out the information regarding their theories on One Piece from different sources, like they come from Japan, from the updates coming from the fans, the leak providers, spoiler providers, the SBS, and then One Piece forums and all those stuff regarding One Piece community. So anyways, this Eneru Review PH is one of those YouTube channels wherein I could really trust when it comes to information regarding One Piece. So this is one of those channels wherein I could say I could reliably get some nice tips or nice information regarding or something like new stuff, any stuff regarding One Piece. So I really love this channel. If you want to promote their if you want to subscribe to their channel, then you may do so. You may proceed to go to their channel, Eneru Review PH. And hopefully you will also subscribe to my own channel. And so here we go. And because this review is titled Gorosei Powers Reveal, Grabe ba? In the English language, it means it is overwhelming, or it is super, because grabe means super, or it is like marvelous, or it's like immensely, it's like a huge, something like that. So it is overwhelming, grabe. So One Piece Tagalog analysis, and then we'll translate this entire thing into English. So, but then we will just try to pause depending on whether the information is worth translating and informing you guys. So anyways, here is the video. So what he was saying was that the conversation between King Cobra and the Gorosei was still ongoing, and then King Cobra cannot believe that somebody was already sitting at the empty throne. So that's what he says. So what he was saying was that King Cobra was he was wondering that somebody was sitting on the empty throne. It was this person. Then he was trying to ask this person some things, but then he was interrupted by the Gorosei, and then they have introduced this person. They were saying that there were only two things that Imu-Sama will say to Cobra, and then he will also at the same time ask a question to King Cobra. So King Cobra, he found out that the name Imu-Sama was quite a bit familiar to him, and that he somehow had an information that that name, that Imu-Sama name, comes from one of those 20 kingdoms, one of the kings of the 20 kingdoms in the Void Century. So there, King Cobra, he had already made himself, he said something that Imu-Sama, he somehow knew that it was one of those 20 kings from those 20 kingdoms from the Void Century, and then, Imu-Sama himself interrupted Cobra by telling him that any more questions, he will not be answering those questions from King Cobra. So the first thing that Imu-Sama shares to Cobra was that it was regarding the initial of D. So this D initial, he says that it was their sworn enemy. So it's like all of those people who had D initials are their enemy, and then those D initials from the past, um, you know, since they were the enemies of Imu-Sama and his underlings, but then the new the people who have the initials now in this present generation, this present era, had no clue whatsoever regarding their initials, and those people that part of the worst generation, and then those people are making crazy things. They're making ruckus all around. So they don't. Imu-Sama says that they don't know the true meaning or value or purpose of that the initial. So Imu-Sama was telling that the knowledge regarding these poneglyphs, all these stuff that came out, that all those information regarding these void centuries, stuff like that, and all those all those things that were brought up were the mistakes of Queen Lily of Arabasta, because due to her mistakes, it's like all of these information regarding the poneglyphs, those pirates that were aiming at the poneglyphs, all those information, all those outcomes were the result of Queen Lily's mishaps. Queen Lily's mishap. So let's proceed. And the Gorosei are getting ready with their weapons, their pistols. So here he says that King Cobra was like he was like pretending that he didn't know the full name of Queen Lily. So Imu-Sama was actually challenging Cobra to say the entire name of Queen Lily. So so the life of Cobra is at stake here. He's really telling everybody there at the room that he be able to exit the room. So the Gorosei was telling Cobra that there's no way for him to exit the room because the moment that he saw Imu-Sama, that would be the end of Cobra. It's like when you see Imu-Sama, when you know the truth about Imu-Sama, his existence, when you know that somebody's there sitting on the empty throne, the existence of somebody who's ruling the entire world, it means absolute death for you. So that's what they say. Sabo was there listening to the entire conversation. He was asking about the real name of Queen Lily. So there, King Cobra told everyone there, the Gorosei, including Imu-Sama, that the truth about the name of Queen Lily, that it bears the D initial, so it's like Queen Nefertari di Lily. So and then the eyes of Imu-Sama, we don't exactly know if he was mad or what emotion he's trying to display with that view on his eyes, but there's like an arrow shadow coming from somewhere. It's like if you notice, there's also this part here. It's like the body. So maybe this arrow is some sort of part of that body here. You say that there's an arrow there. So he was really mad hearing that the initial Imu-Sama. So he was saying that it's like the tail of one of the Gorosei, one of the probably using a mythical Zoan devil fruit. So Sabo was going for the rescue. He made his fire fist attack, his fire fist technique attack, aiming at the Gorosei. He really thought that the Gorosei were all dead with that attack. But there's a snail transponder there making a picture, capturing a picture of Sabo, wherein King Cobra was lying barely alive. So King Cobra actually knows that Sabo is part of the Revolutionary Army, that he was a brother to Luffy. So there, the Gorosei, these Gorosei, this one with the horns, this one like a screaming, he was like the ghost face. This one also is something like a Grim Reaper. This one is like a Tengu. This one is like a Baku. So all of these, I think these are all mythical Zoans, and then they're trying to run after. They're trying to chase after Sabo and King Cobra, because King, Sabo is trying to save King Cobra there. So he thought that he have severely damaged the Gorosei, but then the Gorosei were, it did nothing to them, and then they were after these two. But then Cobra wants to be left behind. He doesn't want any more. He doesn't want to cause any more, problems to Sabo or trouble. So King Cobra wants to have an information to reach out to Luffy and Vivi that they also share the same moniker, the D initial. The Nefertari family had this initial. He wants to make it known to Luffy. So he's trying to say to Sabo to spread that information to Luffy. So it's like when they were still, they were still kids. Sabo, Ace, and Luffy. The Sabo was questioning about why these two have the initial D. So then, but then they were just telling Sabo that D is nothing. You could just place D in your name, like Sadibu, right? So they make it seem like the D initial is some sort of something like you can call a person. So it's not really like you're born with that D initial. So they're trying to sound like it was just like that. So yeah, the Black Arrow. Sabo was badly he was badly hurt by that shadow arrow. So this one, I think this one comes from like the Baku Gorosei. It really looks like a Baku. The Baku. It just looks like an elephant with the trunk of the elephant. So King Cobra was ready to sacrifice himself. He wants Sabo to escape, so he must live on. That's what he says to Sabo. Oh, there's that's King Wapo right there. So Wapo was, he wants to be out there. Wapo was so afraid. So Vivi was like she was being hostage by the CP0. So here she was saying that why do you keep me as your hostage? What's the big idea? So Jabra was telling Vivi, because Vivi was asking the CP0 the condition of Princess Shirahoshi, and then Jabra was telling Vivi that the princess was actually okay because two people saved Vivi from the hands of the crazy celestial dragon. So these two people proclaim themselves as part of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. That's Sai and Leo. So the Revolutionary Army had they had a fight with the Marine admirals, and then two of these admirals, Green Bull and Ryukugyo and Fujitora, actually had conflict because they had a misunderstanding regarding the events that transpired after Saint Mosjard gave the orders, making those two escape, Sai and Leo, and that's Vivi right there, was taken in by King Wapo. King Wapo was in panic. He was in panic mode because of that. He was seeing what he wasn't supposed to see. Like was inside that room where the Gorosei and Imu-Sama were, and then he was basically the witness to a murder of King Cobra. So he knows the truth, King Wapo, and so he wants to run, like he wants to run to the edge of the world just to escape these people, this Gorosei and King Usama. King Wapo knows that his life is in grave danger. So the initial, they were thought of as the enemies to the gods being the celestial dragons, the world nobles, of which Imu-Sama and the Gorosei are one of them. So there are really tons of questions regarding the Void Sanctuary, like the origins of the devil fruits, the poneglyphs that came from Wano. They were actually born in Wano, those poneglyphs. And then also Zunisha. Wapol saw what happened. Wapol was basically the witness of a murder scene, the murder of King Cobra at the hands of the Gorosei and Imu-Sama. So for sure, they are after Wapol. They want to silence that man in order for him not to be able to spread any information regarding that event, the murder. So it was actually Big Miss Morgan's who captured that information, because that photo right there, coming from the transponder snail, was printed in the newspaper. So in that review was saying that the powers of the Gorosei and Imu-Sama were based from nightmare, as the contrast to the dream. The initial dream means D means dream, or in other words, in other translation, it could be hopes, wishes. Dream. The word dream means wishes, hopes, aspirations. So in contrast, he was trying to convey an idea that the powers of Imu-Sama and the Gorosei are based on the opposite of dream, which is nightmare, or absolute disappointment, like absolute just the opposite really of dream and its vision. So I think I'm going to have to end this video. But then you're gonna have to watch my next reaction video is still about these channel in a review ph. I don't want to make this reaction video too long, so I'm gonna cut this off right here. So just stay tuned to the next upload of mine regarding about the powers of the Gorosei and Imu-Sama, and coming from in a review ph. So anyways, that's all. Thank you. Bye bye.